In the quiet stillness of the unseen world, beneath the soft shimmer of light, lies a realm so small, yet so infinitely complex, that it feels almost dreamlike, a world untouched by haste, where life moves at its own delicate rhythm, the world of the microscopic. Here, a single drop of water becomes an entire universe. Within it, transparent beings drift like weightless dancers, their movements so graceful, so purposeful, that one might forget their size, measured not in millimeters, but in microns. Each one lives in perfect balance, in an eternal ballet of existence too small for the naked eye to see, yet vast enough to contain entire dramas of survival, growth, and wonder. Gently, we descend into this hidden world as if drifting down through layers of glass. The air gives way to water, then to molecules, then to patterns so intricate they resemble the brushstrokes of a cosmic artist. Under the lens, the familiar blurs away, and what remains is pure harmony, a rhythm so slow and precise it invites calm, a focus that softens the noise of the world above. A single algae cell, round and glistening, turns toward the light. Its emerald hue glows faintly, the pigment within converting sunlight into life. It floats serenely, tethered to nothing, aware of nothing but the gentle current that guides it. Around it, smaller forms pulse and spin, each with purpose, flagella beating like tiny oars, propelling them through the liquid expanse. To watch them is to witness life in its purest expression, not hurried, not burdened, but existing simply because it can. There is no rush, no ambition, only the steady pulse of being. A focus that feels almost meditative, as though this world exists solely to remind us how quiet life can be when left to its own nature. Across the microplane, a diatom glides, its glassy shell etched with impossible detail. Symmetrical grooves like cathedral windows, capturing and scattering light in iridescent shades of gold and blue. Each line, each curve, a masterpiece of geometry, created not by hand, but by nature's patient design. When it divides, it does so with the precision of time itself, ensuring that the beauty continues unbroken across generations unseen. Nearby, a tardigrade, tiny, resilient, and eternal, lumbers across a forest of moss fibers. Its plump, slow-moving form seems almost gentle, as though unaware of its own strength. It moves through droplets like an explorer through space, its legs grasping softly, its translucent body reflecting faint hues of amber and blue. This little creature can endure freezing cold, burning heat, even the vacuum of space. Yet here it moves with quiet contentment, seeking only a little water, a little peace. The deeper we look, the more life reveals itself, spirals, filaments, orbs, and threads, all turning in endless motion. Each cell a world, each world a miracle. There is order here and balance. No noise, no rush, only the continuous whisper of existence. In this stillness, focus returns. The mind slows. The breath deepens. Tiny currents ripple through the microscopic sea. Air bubbles rise, and in their wake, clusters of microorganisms drift apart, then come together again, as if breathing with the rhythm of the planet itself. The delicate interplay of motion and pause, of light and shadow, becomes a silent language, a reminder that all things, no matter how small, move to the same universal song. In this silent world, there is no chaos, even decay has grace. When one organism fades, another begins. Cells merge, divide, dissolve, and reform. a seamless cycle of transformation that never truly ends. It is a slow, patient dance, a living mosaic of energy and rest, creation and release. Through this unseen lens, we come to realize that focus is not about effort, but observation. Calm is not found by chasing stillness, but by noticing the quiet that already exists. Every movement in this world is slow, deliberate, yet filled with purpose, a mirror to the mindfulness we seek. And as we drift back, rising through the layers of magnification, the once invisible realm fades into softness. The drop of water becomes just a drop again. Yet now, it carries the weight of galaxies, each tiny being within it a testament to life's endless intricacy. The hum of the world returns, distant and gentle. The mind, once scattered, feels centered again, drawn inward by the grace of the unseen. For in the smallest spaces of creation, where time seems to slow and silence hums like a heartbeat, we find not only focus and calm, but a quiet reverence for the infinite that lives within the infinitesimal. As we descend once more into the realm beyond sight, the familiar fades away and the ordinary becomes extraordinary. The edge of perception blurs, and we find ourselves gliding quietly through the most intricate landscape ever known, the architecture of life itself. Here, within the quiet depths of a living cell, we encounter a world so busy and yet so serene, so precise and yet so natural, that it feels almost sacred. Every molecule has a place, every motion a purpose. Yet the entire scene hums with a peace that draws the mind into stillness. The membrane of the cell ripples softly, a translucent gatekeeper, flexible yet strong. It bends and sways like the surface of a pond under a gentle wind, allowing whispers of molecules to pass through in perfect balance. Beyond it lies a city of wonder. Threads of light, loops of colour, drifting globes that pulse like distant stars. Tiny vesicles float through the viscous interior, carrying nutrients and messages between regions. Each one moves as if guided by thought, directed not by will, but by the rhythm of chemistry itself. In this slow dance, energy and structure come together, forming the heartbeat of life. At the center stands the nucleus, vast and luminous, a sanctuary of secrets wrapped in a double veil. Within it, the threads of DNA twist and coil like silver rivers, holding the silent instructions for everything that has ever lived. Under the microscope's gaze, they seem almost alive, unwinding and folding as if breathing. From these spirals emerge the patterns of existence, not through force, but through quiet repetition, day after day, moment by moment, for billions of years. Outside, mitochondria pulse softly, their inner folds glowing faintly with energy. They are the silent forges of life's fire, turning the invisible into vitality, movement, and thought. Each flicker within them is a whisper of power, a subtle, endless hum that keeps the great machinery of being alive and in motion. If we listen closely, we can almost sense the harmony here. Countless interactions, collisions, and connections happening in perfect silence. A realm without waste or noise, only balance. The more we look, the more we realize this microscopic world is not small at all. It is infinite in its detail, infinite in its patience. And so, we travel deeper still, beyond cells, beyond even the boundaries of life itself, to the smallest structures that shape everything we know. Molecules dance in the unseen air, their bonds forming and breaking in time with invisible vibrations. Atoms, each with their own quiet energy, spin and pulse like tiny suns, surrounded by clouds of possibility. We drift among them as if floating through a cosmos of particles. A miniature universe where order arises from motion, and chaos finds its own symmetry. Electrons shimmer between states, never still, yet never lost. Their paths, uncertain and soft, form the foundation of everything that is solid, everything that is felt, everything that is known. It is here, in this place of impossibly small beauty, that calm takes on a new meaning. Focus becomes effortless, for when the mind looks upon such delicate order, it can no longer rush. It can only watch. It can only wonder. A speck of dust drifts across this landscape. To the eye, nothing more than a fragment. But under magnification, it becomes a world of ridges, crystals, and echoes of ancient matter. A grain of pollen clings to its surface, sculpted with patterns so elaborate they seem crafted by art itself. The edges shimmer with tiny fibers, remnants of skin, hair, and the passing breath of life. Even here, in what seems lifeless, there is story, there is design, there is stillness. Now we move gently toward the most mysterious frontier of all, the world within the mind. Within the folds of the brain, where thoughts and dreams are born, lies another microscopic masterpiece. The neurons stretch like trees in an endless forest, their branches touching, intertwining, sending whispers of electricity across invisible gaps. Each spark that leaps from one to another is a fragment of awareness, a moment of memory, a pulse of emotion. Yet from this storm of signals, calm can emerge. The same way that beneath the crashing waves of an ocean lies the slow, steady current of the deep. Gliding through this forest of thoughts, we see neurotransmitters released like soft bursts of light, bridging the space between cells. Each connection, each signal is fleeting, yet together they create the continuity of consciousness, the gentle hum of being alive. In this world, even chaos is beautiful. Even motion feels still. As we rise slowly back toward the world above, light filters in like dawn through water. The layers of magnification fade, from atoms to cells to drops of dew upon a leaf. We return to the familiar, but carry with us something new, a quiet reverence for what lies beneath all things. For every heartbeat, every breath, every flicker of thought begins here, in the calm, invisible ballad of the microscopic. It is a reminder that focus is not found by effort, but by awareness. That calm is not something we create, but something we remember. And so, we drift once more into rest, guided by the rhythm of this hidden world, a world that teaches us, gently and without words, that the universe does not rush. It simply is. In the quiet depths beneath our feet, beyond the reach of light and noise, lies a world that rarely meets the eye. The soil, that humble layer beneath every forest, field, and garden, is not simply earth. It is a living cosmos in miniature, a galaxy of unseen life that sustains all others. Each grain of sand, each speck of dust, each droplet of moisture holds stories billions of years in the making. If we could shrink ourselves small enough to the scale of a microbe, we would find ourselves in a landscape of astonishing detail. Vast tunnels wind between particles, tiny caverns open like canyons, and across them a web of life moves slowly, deliberately, in the eternal rhythm of the earth. A single handful of soil may contain more living beings than there are humans upon the planet. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and microscopic worms, all coexisting, each performing its quiet duty. The bacteria cluster in shimmering colonies, glowing softly under the lens. They are the chemists of this world, breaking down the remains of fallen leaves, transforming death into new beginnings. Around them, the fine threads of fungi weave like silver roots, stretching endlessly, carrying nutrients, connecting one living thing to another. Tiny mites crawl along these fungal highways, their transparent shells gleaming like glass. They are the wanderers and scavengers, turning what was once decay into life once more. As they move, they stir the invisible air between soil grains, creating soft currents that sustain other creatures. Here, nothing is wasted, nothing forgotten. Every fragment of matter finds its way back into the circle. Deeper still, in the moist silence beneath the roots, nematodes glide through thin films of water. Their sinuous movements trace gentle arcs through the microsoil, invisible to the naked eye, yet vital to all existence above. Through their simple lives, they maintain balance, purify, recycle, renew. To watch them is to witness life's quiet resilience expressed through endless patience. And above, stretching down into this invisible world, are the roots, vast networks of living tissue reaching, exploring, whispering to one another through chemical language. Messages pass between them, carried by fungi and bacteria. Slow, silent exchanges that shape forests, meadows, and fields. From the smallest grain of soil, an entire planet's breath begins. Now, let us drift away gently upward, leaving the soil behind. The surface softens beneath us, and soon we are weightless again, moving toward another hidden realm, the open ocean. At first there is only blue, an endless calm. But as we descend, that blue fills with life. The sunlight fades into emerald hues, and then into darkness. Yet even here, in the water's depths, the microscopic world thrives, a luminous web suspended in motionless grace. This is the domain of the plankton, the wanderers of the sea. Each one, though unseen by ordinary sight, plays a part in the heartbeat of the planet. Tiny diatoms drift like celestial lanterns, their glass shells shimmering with symmetry. They capture sunlight and carbon alike, breathing oxygen into the water, into the air, into us. Their beauty lies not in color, but in form. Spirals, triangles, circles, and chains, each one a pattern of mathematical perfection. Around them, zooplankton move with a slow pulse, transparent bodies revealing organs and currents within. Some glow softly, casting halos of living light that drift across the ocean's night. Here, stillness is alive. Each organism floats, drifts, rises, and falls with the tides. There is no struggle, only the slow, effortless balance of nature. Even when one life fades, it nourishes another. Each motion is part of a greater harmony, a rhythm that spans the sea, the sky, and every breath drawn upon the shore. In the twilight of the deep, small particles of organic snow fall endlessly. The remains of plankton, dust, and detritus, drifting like silent stars toward the ocean floor. It is called marine snow, and through it, the cycle of life continues in the stillest of ways. Far above, the surface glimmers, and beyond that, in the frozen quiet of winter, lies yet another microcosm of beauty, the world within a snowflake. Each snow crystal begins its life as a speck of dust suspended in the coldest air. Around it, vapor gathers, freezing in perfect symmetry. Branch by branch, arm by arm, it grows, guided not by design, but by the whispers of temperature and humidity. Under magnification, each flake reveals an exquisite pattern, unique and fleeting, a frozen mandala that will never exist again. No two are the same. Each carries the imprint of its birth, a memory of the air it formed in, the currents it drifted through, the silence of the cloud that bore it. They fall together in silence, countless billions, each a quiet masterpiece. When they touch the ground, they vanish into the rhythm of change, melting, soaking, nourishing, the endless return to water, to life, to breath. In all these places, soil, sea and sky, the microscopic world works quietly, unseen, unthanked, yet vital. It is a realm without pride or power, where every particle serves the whole. Watching it, one feels time slow. The mind softens. The noise of thought drifts away, replaced by a calm so deep it feels infinite. For in every drop, every flake, every grain of earth, the universe is reflected. Vastness contained within smallness, eternity within the moment. And as we drift back now to the surface of awareness, we carry with us that stillness, the quiet pulse of the microscopic world that underlies everything. A reminder that focus need not be forced and calm need not be sought. They are already here, woven into the smallest wonders of existence. The journey may end, but its peace remains, gentle, silent, eternal. Beyond the breath of life, beyond the quiet pulse of cells and soil, there exists another kind of world, a realm that is not alive, yet hums with the same still rhythm as everything that is. It is the microscopic architecture of time itself, the slow patience of crystals, the shimmer of minerals, the invisible dance of air, and the drifting heritage of cosmic dust. We begin this final descent not into life, but into stillness, a silence so deep that motion itself seems to pause. Here, matter arranges itself with such patience that human eyes almost cannot comprehend it. Crystals, born from the simplest ingredients of earth and heat, grow quietly in the darkness, molecule by molecule, layer by layer, following invisible laws written in geometry older than life itself. Under magnification, the edges of a quartz crystal rise like glass mountains, perfect and unwavering. Each face reflects the light in precise symmetry, yet no two are identical. Time flows differently here, not in seconds or hours, but in ages. A single atom joins another, forming lattices that stretch for centuries, shaping structures that will outlast every storm. Within salt, we see squares within squares, each corner meeting in flawless repetition. Within amethyst, spirals of violet light curve like frozen whispers of flame. In snowflake, like gypsum, delicate spires stretch outward, fractal and eternal. The beauty is not born of life, but of order, an order that exists everywhere, from the solid earth beneath us to the drifting dust between stars. Crystals are time made visible. Their forms are memories of the temperatures they endured, the pressures they survived, the minerals they embraced. They hold within their silence the slow music of creation, an unending patience that invites the mind to slow in turn. To look closely is to feel time stretch, to sense that all rushing is temporary, and that the universe moves only at the pace it must. We move now into the air, the unseen ocean that surrounds us all. Here, particles dance in endless motion, colliding, parting, rejoining. A single breath contains countless molecules of oxygen and nitrogen, drifting in random ballet, yet forming a perfect balance. The air, though invisible, carries the signature of everything that has ever lived, fragments of exhaled breath from ancient forests, from distant seas, from lives long past. Each molecule spins and tumbles, light as thought, and between them flows warmth, sound, scent, life. Dust motes, caught in sunlight, reveal this secret world, tiny, glowing spheres suspended in golden beams. Each one is a story, pollen from a far-off flower, ash from a distant fire, salt from an evaporated sea. And within some, older still, are grains of cosmic dust, the ancient remnants of stars that lived and died long before our world was born. These particles are the wanderers of eternity. They travel through the great silence between stars, carried by solar winds and gravity's gentle hand. Some settle upon icy moons. Others drift through space for millions of years before finding a home. Perhaps in a drop of ocean water, or within the soil beneath a tree, or in the breath of someone dreaming under a quiet sky. Under the microscope, a speck of this cosmic dust reveals beauty beyond imagination. Crystals of iron and nickel intertwined, glass spheres born from the heat of ancient explosions, carbon webs that shimmer faintly like captured starlight. They are fragments of creation's first fire, carried across light years, older than mountains, older than the sun. To gaze upon them is to look at time itself, not as a line, but as a stillness, a continuity that has no beginning or end. The vast and the minute become one. The distance between galaxies and the space between atoms begins to blur. Everything that has ever existed, and everything that will, shares the same quiet pulse. And as we drift among these silent grains, through crystals and air, through dust and light, we begin to feel the rhythm that ties them all together. It is not the rhythm of movement, but of balance, of being. The same order that shapes snowflakes shapes galaxies. The same laws that govern the spin of an atom sculpt the spiral of a star. In this realization lies a profound calm, for nothing is truly separate. The microscopic and the infinite are reflections of one another. Each particle, no matter how small, carries within it the pattern of the whole. Now the scene softens. The crystals fade into mist. The dust drifts away, and we rise through layers of scale. From the molecular to the visible, from the invisible to the familiar. The world returns, the quiet hum of the room, the gentle rhythm of breath, the softness of the air around you. But something has changed. Beneath the surface of perception, you now carry the memory of the unseen, the patience of the crystal, the resilience of the cell, the stillness of the dust that once belonged to stars. In that awareness, focus becomes effortless. Calm becomes natural. The microscopic wonders have whispered their lesson, that beauty does not depend on size, and peace does not depend on stillness, for both are already present in every breath, in every atom, in every moment. And as you drift toward rest, the last images fade. A flake of snow dissolving into water, a droplet of ocean holding a world within, a grain of dust glowing faintly in the light of a setting sun. All are small, all are vast, all are one. The journey now returns to its beginning. A slow drift through the boundaries of sight and imagination. where every tiny thing becomes vast again. We hover between scales where the invisible merges with the infinite, and the quiet harmony of all worlds, great and small, hums as one eternal song. In the silence of this suspended space, we begin to see how all things are woven together. The drop of water, shimmering with microscopic life, reflects the same curves as a galaxy's spiral arm. The lattice of a crystal mirrors the orbit of planets. The branching veins of a leaf echo the delicate filaments of fungi in the soil. Patterns repeat endlessly, as if the universe itself dreams in symmetry. Each world, the cellular, the mineral, the cosmic, is not separate, but one vast continuum of being. The same energy that flickers through the heart of a neuron hums softly in the core of a star. The rhythm that moves a bacterium through a droplet of dew is the same rhythm that turns the earth through space. Every form, every motion, every stillness is an expression of the same quiet truth, that life and matter are simply two reflections of the same eternal calm. We drift now through these mirrored scales. A cell expands into a planet. A microbe becomes a moon. A grain of dust glows like a sun. Time and size dissolve, and all distinctions fade. There is only the pulse, the infinite heartbeat that connects every atom to every thought, every breath to every galaxy. Listen closely. It is not loud, not demanding. It hums softly beneath all sound, the slow exhale of the universe. It breathes through soil, through water, through light. It hums through the molecules of air that fill your lungs, through the steady rhythm of your own heart. The same harmony that governs the smallest electron governs you. You are part of this microscopic wonder, a constellation of living particles bound together in perfect balance. Imagine now the quiet depths beneath your skin. Cells shimmering softly like lanterns, dividing, renewing, healing. Mitochondria glowing faintly, weaving energy through your body like fireflies in a forest at night. Blood cells drifting gently through invisible rivers, carrying life, carrying calm. The same forces that shaped mountains and stars flow through you, silently, endlessly, without effort. Your body, too, is a universe of motion and peace. And in that awareness, stillness begins to deepen. We move once more through the ocean of the unseen, through clouds of pollen, spirals of plankton, crystals of frost and air. Every form glows with the same serenity. Each one is small, and yet each carries the entire story of creation within it. A snowflake melts into a droplet, the droplet into vapor, the vapor into sky. A grain of dust drifts into soil, becomes part of a seed, then a leaf, then air again. Nothing is lost, nothing is wasted. Every molecule continues its quiet journey over centuries, over lifetimes. Even as things end, they begin anew, always changing form, but never ceasing to be. This is the deepest wonder of the microscopic world. Its endless continuity. In its patience lies wisdom. In its slowness lies focus. It teaches us that everything we seek, calm, clarity, connection, already exists woven into the smallest threads of being. We need only to look closer, to notice the quiet perfection in what has always been. Now, as we ascend toward the scale of the visible, we feel the vastness we've carried all along. A single grain of sand beneath your fingertip holds within it a landscape of mountains, tunnels, and stars of silica. A breath of air carries the remnants of forests, the breath of whales, the echo of starlight from billions of years ago. Every moment you inhale, you breathe the history of the universe. And so, as the microscopic world fades gently from view, it does not disappear. It simply blends with the larger, the ocean, the earth, the sky, and the cosmos beyond. Each world supports the next, layer upon layer, like ripples in water, spreading endlessly outward. In this stillness, everything is connected. The roots and the rivers, the crystals and the clouds, the smallest cell and the brightest star. Each one hums with the same quiet pulse, each one reflecting the peace that underlies all things. The universe does not shout, it whispers. It creates not in haste, but in balance. And through that balance, it invites you to rest, to slow your thoughts, to breathe, to remember that calm is your natural state. As the last moments of the journey unfold, imagine yourself floating once more in that first drop of water. The light filters gently through. The microscopic world glimmers around you. Familiar now, friendly, eternal. Tiny beings drift past, their movements slow and serene. Crystals shimmer in the current. Bubbles rise like distant moons. And all around you, everything is in motion, yet nothing feels hurried. This is focus without effort, calm without stillness, life without noise. Let it carry you, softly, like a tide returning to shore. Breathe slowly. Feel the quiet rhythm that surrounds you, within and without. You are part of this great continuum, as infinite as the stars, as intricate as the smallest cell. You are made of the same wonders you have seen. And in this realization, peace becomes effortless, and the mind drifts into silence. The journey is complete. The world, both vast and microscopic, rests in perfect harmony. And in that harmony, so do you.